Om Ganganapate Nama, Sri Gurubhyo Nama, hariom. The focus of the focus is on the I am and awareness, and it is what which is actually the entire, that is like a foundation, and the solution for which the it is essential, that has to be traced. Otherwise, the the default fall has been in the known domain, and it is and the being is whipped by the dispositions of the body, mind, intellect, and material. This is helplessly, because with however one is enriched with materially worldly prosperity, qualifications, whatnot, and beside this one, as a suppressor, as a relief, certain sadhanas whatsoever are dealt, they are not giving a real solution. They are not addressing the need. Now this can only be corrected by with correct awareness. That awareness is to comprehend, comprehend the fact underlying principle of I am. This as we so this I am is definitely is the content of the I am is existence and knowledge. Now this, and it is not that I am has an existence apart from the existence, because existence and awareness are universal, and this I am is also is discrete. Every being says. Now, but that is very much reflected, imported in the I am. But the question is, I am asserting to be a standalone entity, and then revealing I am existing. That is the issue when it starts. Then the downfall we had seen. Then it will carry the tag of the name, and that knower and then becomer, all that thing is happening. And this situation calls for, as we have seen, those 9 ascension blocks and then impediments. Now one example analogy to drive home this point, because despite this awareness, still an individual is unable to gain, because so many people knew the the scriptures, the knowledge, but still they are deprived of this state of uh, contentment, bliss, immortality. This is the reasons for to drive home this point we will develop on, because as I just said before, the worldly knowledge sciences, they are changing domain, and they are unable to answer. They are unable to resolve the issue. They cannot reach a change, cannot reach changeless. That is the limitation. Now change cannot access a moving entity, cannot connect to a entity which is standstill. Now all that limitations of the change, the known, the present, the actually the root reality is having is inverse of it. This is moving, that is fixed. This has no knowledge, that has knowledge. So an entity is inert, cannot definitely connect to a knowledge. Ignores. Now I say this is chair. Definitely chair cannot know me, because its existence is dependent on me. So like that, one may be MBA. Okay, MBA, all these things are good for material management, but life is linked to mind management. And further to go to cross over the mind to the higher echelons. Now, one analogy which is very closely, because in our approach to this path, example analogy serves as a very easier way to connect to the profound knowledge. Like now in this model, I am only presenting. Then uphill there is an aerodrome, and the being is like a aircraft. Now in deep sleep, okay, the aircraft is parked there, it is fine. Now during wake state, by default it will drive down. There is a drive down, it will come, and then it is driving to the plains, and that plains depending on one's disposition, it may be in whatever. Then in this state it is reminded that the life of the plains, the road, is fit for automobile, which is for other creatures, but for a biped the correct point is it has to go to the aerodrome, and it is fit to take off. But then it heard about it, and it has again drove back. This is the first stage of Shravana, means listening and taking the input is like that. But for this one to make it reality, as we have seen, the counter program is calling shots. Counter program is what he is not. He has become what he is, he has forgotten, and his link with that awareness is further displaced. Now how to do it? Now what is the example? Now this aircraft which again drove to the hill, now it has to take off, means it has to fly, but the runway is not fit. Now runway, there are pits and runway is damaged. Now this aircraft, it cannot again fly back. This is the disposition of the mind, our inner faculty, with the impediment which is denying that higher state. Now with continuous effort of negation of the non-self and comprehending the self, this has to be a repetitive thing, like a recasting the runway. Now recasting the runway, it is otherwise it is not fit for it to take up to move to, it is inhibiting its takeoff. Now the runway has to be recast. That means the impressions of the mind have to be erased. Impressions related to non-self, that is his body, and body is his, he is knower, and he has an existence on his own, he is wielding the knowledge. All these are actually, his wielding knowledge is not, knowledge cannot be wielded. There cannot be a knowledge which can be possessed by this this I have knowledge doesn't mean say I have book or I have some kind of a object. That kind of a situation is not. There cannot be two knowledges. There cannot be so many knowledges. So the otherwise is knowledge. Knowledge held I am. Knowledge is all pervading, and this is the thing. These impressions are recast, means have to be repeatedly affirmed, upheld, which will again make the situation conducive for takeoff. In this state, the flight, it has learned that master that art of connecting to the higher echelons. It can again land back, drive down, discharge its duties, but that then this cycle is more wise. Otherwise, the runway is damaged, it cannot fly, and it is bound to the plains by default, and it is a thing, it is in despair, because however one is endowed with prosperity, material prosperity, some certain spiritual ritual sadhanas also, there is bottom line insecurity, unpredictability, and some kind of a void. This void can only go with a knowledge. And is it one we would have a doubt? Is it feasible at all? Is such a thing exist? Because everybody, they all paths of the enlightened masters only expound arise awake. Arise that is we have to check back, trace back, and it is very much feasible for this human being. One another supporting thing would be the there is a tiger. The tiger, it delivered the baby and it passed away. One shepherd coming on the way with sheep, then he will notice the baby. Oh, out of pity, he would adopt it. It is also brought up in the company of the with the shepherd. But because of the infatuation, over the time, this grown-up tiger is also behaving like the sheep. That is saying is it sounds like a sheep. It is eating grass because thing it is being tiger. It has forgotten, and then because of the attachment with the now the individual also he is self, but because of attachment he is today camouflaged with body. All happenings to the body are his. All happenings to the prana mind are not his. He is that. He is that. This is a big thing, big issue of concern, which is denying the peace, happiness. Now that tiger, what happens? Really, when one tiger actually it is on a it is it actually it is on a it is on a mission to to hunt its food, and it notices this sheep and all assembly, and it and all are running. Now, to its amazement, to its thing, it amazement. This it finds this tiger also, which is amid this company. It is also running. Then it develops curious. It want to know. Okay, sheep would run, but why this tiger is also took to its feet? Then it will revest. It will pursue it. Then it is shivering. Then it has forgotten it is tiger. Then it took it to a nearby lake. It made it to look into the thing. It will roar. It will, after 2-3 attempts, it also it roars. It is reminded after looking into thing and other thing. It is reminded what it has superimposed. It is not. It is really tiger. Now this is that's why enlightenment is actually one is already self. He is cosmic, all pervading. But because of this ignorance, this philosophy, this fact is that power. It is power. It is power of will and power of projection. Power of will is this I am. I am is diverse from its root content, awareness, and it is projecting. This is in a way non-apprehension of reality and consequent misapprehension in the path of the this philosophy. It is called ignorance, delusion, and like that tiger, it has not. It is not that it became tiger. It is already being a tiger. It is operating like a sheep. So similar way, the being, the I am, is today body. Now body has got cold and heat, body hungry and thirsty, body has birth and death. They are verily mine. They are verily mean. Mine is at least there is a scope to be to undo to undo, but unfold. But now I am very much when it dies. Now this is the main virus, which bug, which is making the person, however he is enriched, there is a undercurrent of despair, and more the peak of the problem is the death. It dies, I will die, and by our worry about in preserving the body, there is a premature death, because with death will with this worry, anxiety, there is more consumption of the life force, and everybody. You see, recent COVID also, it is said that with real COVID, compared to real COVID, out of fear for COVID, took so many lives. And so many systems are there within body. There are so many, from legs to the organs to the inner things, kidneys, liver, all these things. So many: kidney, liver, lung, pancreas, spleen, and heart, lungs, heart, all those glands, all those. It is a trillions of cell, and it has got its own dharma, laws. It is born, it exists, it grows, it deteriorates, it will demise. It is subject to change. These are it. And the one onlooker who knows these changes got to be have a parameter, got to be attributes which are inverse of these things. This is important. With this awareness, when we can operate through the body, and there nothing. It is like it is an enacted thing. We have everything. In fact, the person with this wisdom is better, excels, and efficient in mundane life compared to other person who is caught up in insecurity and uncertainty. And this is very much making you unsettled. What may happen? Okay, like we are, because this decoupling is very much happening time and again. The fact is, decoupling of the body, this entire setup, body, mind, is separated in deep sleep, but we are existing, and it is forever it is forever lost. We still exist. That's why we pray for them, the departed souls, that they have to be thing. That means none. It is like a film star after finishing a movie, then he is dead with reference to that movie, but he will continue. Same way, the dream, the wake experiencer, wake entire this constituent, he is vanishing in dream and deep sleep, and when at the stroke of the last breath, and this will forever go. Now it is moment, it is going as for a short spell, it will go, and whatever happens to the state of a short spell happens to the permanent spell, permanent detachment. But the I am continues, I am, and the mind continues. And that mind, even with whatever held, even without thing also, it is the mind defilement which will, the I am is immediately surrounded by the mind, and it is packaged in body. Now this I am, it is cut off from the awareness, it is trapped in the mind. Now this mind, through mind we pick up our actions, our pursuits, and now this mind has got that mind topic will be dealt in detail. This mind, if it is negative, the individual is immediate victim. That, like, I am surrounded by some forbidden objects, then I am immediately uh, conditioned. Whereas if mind is positive, and one is immediately benefited. Suppose we are surrounded by flowers and some fragrant, some good sandalwood, we are think the state of the mind, even without, even short of this awareness also, to be peaceful, this state of the mind has to be calibrated, it has to be analyzed. Like we are calibrating anything, we take some standard. As per standard, how much it is deviating, then corrective actions. Like eyesight, what should be the vision, and we are whatever short of the vision, will always bridge with a lens. Now vision is restored. Now one has to know what should not be held in the mind. That is actually a real advantage. Now the cover up, whatever is held, this alone is the reference, then it should give one peace and happiness. So there has to be honest assessment of evaluating one's own mind, and